Hi, welcome to Live from the Compound. I'm Josh Brown here with Michael Batnick. There's an article today on Bloomberg Opinion about Warren Buffett's next big, quote-unquote, elephant-sized deal.
Madison Square Garden.
All right, hold your horses. We don't know who the next big elephant-sized deal will be. Tara LaChapelle, the reporter, thinks that whoever it is, it might be his last. We'll get into that in a moment. Stick around. Okay, Mike, you read the article as one of your last 5 free articles on the Bloomberg site.
It's March 26th. Time to binge.
You have 4 days left.
You know, does Buffett have a history of buying companies with an inverted yield curve in action?
Yeah, in this economy,
Yeah, I don't
do an elephant-sized deal.
I don't know.
Well, Warren Buffett's last deal was in 2016. He bought Precision Cast Parts, which he had already owned stock in. And it was a $30-some-odd billion deal, which is pretty big. But it was not like a splashy brand name that everyone knows. Like, it wasn't like investing in Coke or...
Yeah. By the way, do you know he has 400 million shares of Coca-Cola?
Yeah.
He's like, 400 million. It's a nice even round number. Like, literally 400 million.
Nice dividends. You know how many people have told him to sell that or have said, like, why own Coke? And he just doesn't really care. So anyway, he's got $110 billion in cash, give or take. And now the new rumors are saying that because he's the largest shareholder in the top 4 airlines, I think that's the number, or the second largest shareholder, that he'll probably just buy one.
Well,
would you ever have assumed Buffett would buy an airline in a million years?
Well, he owns Delta, 9.6% of Delta, 8.7% of Southwest. He owns a shit ton of banks.
He owns them all.
Yeah,
he owns United Continental. He owns American Airlines.
Maybe he'll take down all of CoinDesk.
I don't know if he could afford that. He said
his biggest position. This is wild. Apple.
Well, of course it is.
What do you mean? Of course it is.
Of course, his biggest position.
Why do you say of course?
Because everyone knows how much Apple he's been buying.
You don't think that's like just amazing?
What, that he owns so much Apple?
$40 billion.
It's insanity. But
and he paid 36 for it, so it's not all appreciation.
But I don't even know if he's like overweight Apple though relative to the S&P. Is it still 6 or 7% of the S&P?
5.4%. So I don't think it's that big.
It's not that big.
I think it's like 2 or 3.
Oh, because Microsoft has gotten
so
much bigger.
People have called him a closet index. Imagine in 10 years Berkshire is like the Qs.
Yeah, it looks just like the Qs.
Yeah.
Well, so what I wanted to ask you is, you remember when Buffett was saying that somebody should go back in time and assassinate the Wright brothers because of how much money has been lost collectively in the airline industry? And I guess he probably made that comment in the 90s.
I think it was Munger.
Munger? Okay, same thing. So times have changed. It's interesting to see somebody like Buffett, after eschewing airline investments for 40 years.
Well, when the facts change.
Right, but then going from owning no airlines to owning the largest stake in the big 4 and possibly acquiring one, like, that's a pivot that not a lot of people talk about. That's bigger pivot than investing in Red Hat or whatever. Like, to me, that's a lot of money. Do you think that, let's say the last deal he does, so Tara LaChapelle is the reporter, and she's saying he probably doesn't want to leave his successor with $100 billion to have to worry about, because it's like,
why? I don't know if I buy that.
That's her argument is he's going to pull the trigger so that the conundrum of that much cash isn't something that the company has to face in his absence. Is that a good reason to do an acquisition? I don't know if I like that.
Come on.
Isn't it easier to have too much cash than not enough, or a bad merger?
Yes, of course. Right. So she gave a list of companies that are Buffett-y, Berkshire-y.
What, Home Depot?
3M, Boeing, Caterpillar, Cummins, Deere, Delta, Emerson Electric. These all, Home Depot.
So he had a stake in Deere, and I think he sold it. But I would have thought that would be a no-brainer. It's just like the huge American agricultural brand that sells all over the world. Not a ton of competitors. It seems like it has a moat.
I feel like we're killing him a little. He's only 88.
Give him another decade. I think if he does do a big deal, it's not like he does one every year. So,
he's spoken up. He's said a few things that he's having trouble finding value.
Yeah.
But then he's also like, did he say in the latest letter that he's sort of close to an elephant? Did he tease it? I don't remember.
What he said that I thought was
he came close, right?
Maybe, but the most interesting thing I remember him saying this spring is that the public market valuations are better than the private ones. And he's done some private deals. He bought Flying J or whatever that's called, the truck stops.
Oh.
And he bought one of the biggest used car dealership chains in the country. Those are private deals, but he's saying the valuations on private are terrible, and in public markets there are like big deals worth doing. Is he just talking his book because he has to do big deals, or you think there's maybe something to that?
I don't know.
All right. Well, listen, let us know what you think Warren Buffett's next big elephant-sized deal is. We'll link to the article in the show notes. Use it as one of your 10 free articles this month. Let us know what you think. Leave us your feedback. We love your subscriptions. Go ahead and smash that like button for us as well, and we will talk to you soon.